Well, joining me is David Cretney, and the hat you have on today is Chairman of the Labour Party. The Meals on Wheels is coming to an end. You've been very vocal about you disagreeing with the whole aspect of that, and this is a sort of last-minute appeal. I mean, the deal is done after all, isn't it? It's all going to end.
Oh, I'm sure it is. My concern, principally, is that if we're encouraging more older people to stay at home longer, then these kind of services are going to be more needed in the future. And it seems to me a short-term decision has been taken here in order to save some money. I hope it'll be revisited in the future. I hope there'll be a good service which will be available, which is it's going to be much cheaper for the taxpayer to have a service around a range of things for people staying in their own homes longer,
Is this
rather than them going in homes and it being £1,000 a week to the taxpayer.
Yeah, I mean, from all accounts, it's more than just the food delivery, it's the contact, isn't it? And that seems to be the important thing. People don't see anybody otherwise, maybe.
Yes, but I think the contract was on food provision.
Yes.
And that's where I think it's been a bit short-sighted, because I do believe the fact that they have a visit, it's the same with postmen. If a postman calls and sees somebody, then it's a point of contact who might not see anybody else during the day. And if they, for example, aren't well or need something, then it's in my opinion, it's very helpful for that person then to get help in whatever way they can.
Okay, I've tried to get hold of somebody to come on, but so far, so if anyone's listening who wants to come on to talk about how it affects them, I'd love to hear from them. 310000 is the number. You've met them firsthand, though, people that are affected.
Yes, I was contacted last week, actually over Christmas, a couple of times, and I went to see one of the ladies a few days ago, and she lives in Ramsey, so she's not a constituent of mine or a former constituent of mine, and I called to see her, and she was clearly confined to one room. She has ME, she's very articulate, very intelligent, but clearly doesn't get out and about. And during our conversation, we had a conversation for a couple of hours. It was really nice. We talked about all things Manx, as you do. And during the conversation, she said to me that she hadn't made arrangements with either of the two providers that have been put forward as alternatives to Age Concern's Meals on Wheels service. And then it was 6 days until the service was going to finish, and I just was a little bit worried about that. I'm sure she does have people coming in to see her. In fact, she spoke about social workers and people who come to help clean and things. But she hadn't made any arrangements. I wondered, was that the case for others? And Hope Home Care, who do a similar kind of service for people, elderly people in their own homes, contacted me and said that they knew of several people who use their services who also had not made a decision about this. And my concern is, I wouldn't want things to slip through the system, which can happen all too easily. And so,
you would have thought that list from the original list must be handed over to the new provider. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it is carrying on in a form, isn't it? It's just a cheaper, different contract. I mean,
it's a different contract. There are two providers available, whose names have been put forward by the department, and people can choose to use them or choose not to use them. I mean, and that's the only difference now, is that the £150,000 subsidy, which went to Age Concern for Meals on Wheels, was withdrawn from the 12th of January.
Right. And the new deal is the same thing overall, though? Do they get the same meals? Do they, or what?
There's different alternatives available.
It's going to save money?
It's going to save the department money in the short term, in terms of, but as I say, I think they should have looked longer term. And if more people are living longer, if more people are living in their homes longer, which is the right thing to do, then at some time in the future, a service which includes more visits would be better.
Would you like to hear from them, or should they pass their concerns, if they haven't sorted things out, straight back to the health services?
Well, this morning I've had a response from the adult social services officials. They're looking into this matter. They're going to come back to me as soon as possible. If anybody has any concerns, I'm very happy to listen to them or to pass them on to the relevant authorities.
Okay, well, I've got you here then. The Kate Beecroft standing down, resignation, push, shoved, not, all that goes on. What your feelings? Do you have any you want to make public?
Well, I made my feelings public the other day via Facebook, and my feelings are I wish her better health for the future. She's clearly had a difficult time of late, and I wish her well. I didn't agree with many of her policies. She knows that, I know that, but in terms of a personal human situation, I hope that her health improves.
Okay. At time of recording this, we don't actually know who's taking over, but it'll be out by the time this gets on air, I'm sure. But would you have liked it if you offered? I know it's unlikely to have happened, is it?
Yes,
would you have liked it?
I've been asked that, and not by the Chief Minister.
Okay.
Not by the Chief Minister.
What a scoop there.
But I was asked by people, and the fact is, I haven't had an election since 2011, so my mandate ran out in 2016 in terms of being directly accountable to people. If I had been in a position, of course I would have. I always took the view that whatever I could do for the Isle of Man in whatever role, I would always do it.
Okay, you're a frustrated MLC. We've had that conversation.
We
before.
have. I'm still an MHK.
Inside you.
There's an MHK inside me.
Okay,
yes.
and one more.
So maybe you know. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, there's 4 positions of MLCs coming up. The names going forward, a lot of women as well, that sort of thing. Have you got anyone you're particularly going to be picking, or is that too early to?
No, well, I won't be involved.
I know, but would you, if you could? That's just watch from the sidelines.
Yes, just watch from the sidelines. I hope it'll be people who are prepared to go work with the House of Keys in terms of some democratic reform. There's been more going on latterly than I can remember in all the time I've been around. One of the 2 reasons I went to LegCo was that I wanted to assist the Keys in making some progressive reform. And I think that's on the boards now, and I think that the members of the Legislative Council currently sitting need to be aware of that and work with the Keys and accept that that's the future.
All right, new blood or parachute for MHKs?
I don't think any MHKs at this time would choose that.
I've heard that, but it'll be interesting to see, won't it?
Yeah.
Watch your space. February, isn't it?
It is. Yes. So.
And when is your term up?
2 years.
And you're definitely not going to do it again?
No, I'm definitely not going to do it again.
Wow.
I'd be more tempted
to come back as an MHK?
To stand down and go again as an MHK. But I've done this April. I will have done 33 years. And there comes a time when you need to accept. Well,
we had Peter Carron in there only the other week, and he looked like he might.
Yeah.
He can't get it out of his system. No, that's the problem, isn't it?
We were elected on the same day, April the 25th, 1985.
It's hard.
The 2 of us.
Right. It's hard on the sidelines, though, isn't it? When you can actually be involved.
It is, and I've made a decision, or I hope to keep a decision, that when I do call it a day, that I don't be a caller to the man in line, or I don't try and interfere. You've got to kind of call it a day and pass on to the next generation.
Okay, well, we'll talk to you much more before that. And back to this business about the elderly and everything. Get in touch with you, or obviously the providers. Make sure if you're not on a list, get on a list.
Yes, it's very important. Nutrition, food, keeping warm. There are a number of challenges. As you know, I've made representations about the need for an older person's champion. Whether it's me or whether it's somebody else, I don't mind, but I do believe to represent the interests, just as we have a champion for children, just as we have a champion for diversity and the armed services, I think older persons deserve that.